All right, episode 4. It's an NYCC Sunday sit down with Jay Dribbs, Johnny Konerman. Welcome to the show. A guy that you guys got to get familiar with because he's going to be a recurring guest. Worked with you for a long time now, and former roommates. First off, how you doing this beautiful Sunday,
sure.
dude?
It's a great Sunday. I'm happy to be on, making my debut here. Thanks for having me on. Just excited to get into it.
It's a pleasure to
whatever
have you
we're gonna get
here.
into.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Nice. You've been working in tennis for almost 4 years now in the retail space. You and I worked together for Midwest, formerly Tennis Point, and I think it's just like as a fan of tennis in general for the last, you've been into it for a while, but like what in the last 4 years, what have you kind of enjoyed about working in the game of tennis?
I'm pretty much just a recreational player, but I've always thought it was just an underrated sport, and people, it's way more fun to watch than people really give it credit for. And if you actually get into it, like you can appreciate how much of athletes these people are. Like it's crazy. Like they're right up there with basketball, football, everything. So they definitely need more appreciation. So that was cool. And then I don't know, just I enjoy playing it a lot. So I wanted to kind of learn more about it. And then that just kind of all happened naturally with the job, and got to know the products, rackets, just everything you need to know to sell stuff. So, we got a good customer base going. So, shop with us at Midwest.
There you go. That's a good plug right there for the gang.
For all your tennis needs, we got pickleball bumping up. I know some people aren't big pickleball fans, but that's definitely gaining steam.
Padell's on the way, though, right?
Padel is also on the way.
It's on the way. That's big.
Hopefully we'll get some courts locally, but
yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know, it was called Midwest and it was Tennis Point, and then it was bought back out. Shout out to the Shields family. Big things I think are coming with what they've got. I envision for this kind of this new era of ownership. I think Midwest has now been around for like 35 years or whatever, so it's been a long time. Stable in Cincinnati, is HQ is up in Sharonville, but no, I think it's awesome how you've integrated yourself in the community, and I think your appreciation for these athletes is why I knew that we would have fun doing this type of thing, because you've been more tuned in. It's like you've played a bunch of other sports, you watch a bunch of other sports, and it's rare for tennis to have these fans like you that kind of come in and like you're above a casual viewer, but like we need that casual audience that like not like we've got like the diehard core like little 1%, 2% of fans that like watch challenger tennis,
play a lot.
Yeah, and play a lot. But it's like we need that casual demo.
Definitely.
Another guy that you remind me of is Liam Blutman, who just kind of came onto the scene of tennis in the last two years, I guess, and he's been like all in. And I think it was really cool what he's done with Barstool, of kind of getting Barstool a presence in tennis. We've talked about that for years. Of how Barstool has not dipped their toe in tennis yet. It's a little bit of a shocker.
That was definitely missing. But yeah, Liam Blutman's hilarious. Kind of dips his hand into everything, but yeah, he's starting to pick up steam on tennis, and he's locked into it. It looks like so.
He knows what he's talking about.
They need that for sure. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch.
Like you would not guess that that's the guy to do it, but it's like he's gonna do it. Like he's into it. Like
no, definitely not.
He puts his biggest winners and losers of every day up on Twitter. He's got tennis in there like almost. Yeah,
he's doing tennis stuff like almost every day now.
Almost every day.
Or talking about it almost every day. So
I think that's sweet. So
that's really cool.
No, I think we'll have a lot of fun with this. We're down here at the warehouse, one of our favorite places to kind of come hang out, work from Six Space. Eventually, we'll be migrating to these beautiful mics in front of us. I forgot the little mic chip that goes into the soundboard.
We need a little audio chip.
But that's noted for next time. But yeah, it's a busy time in the tennis season. That's why I wanted to come down here today. We just got back from Dallas. We spent 4 or 5 days there. Indoor Nats, amazing event at SMU. Was super impressed with the action I got to see there. Wake Forest takes the title. Shout out to Stefan Dostanic, DK Suresh, Luka Powell, all those guys that are on that team. Super solid. I mean, just watching that team, it's like a traveling Challenger Tour team. It's like guys at futures at the worst case scenario. It's like even the bottom of the lineup guys are good enough to win matches on the Futures Tour. It's just an insane level in college tennis right now. Watching those top, I watched 8 of the 16 play at SMU. The other 8 were at Baylor. But it was just like, how many guys are going to use this college tennis platform and avenue as like a vessel to the Pro Tour is pretty remarkable. 2 other guys I wanted to note on the Dallas situation was two of the best freshmen I got to watch. Virginia's Rafa Yodar. I think I'm saying his name right. Jodar. A guy you guys got to watch out for. Freshman is an absolute problem. He's got just ridiculous pace and length of shot, and his mental game is strong. Young, Spain, I believe. I just don't know where he's from, but he's 18 years old. Kid's the truth. He battled with Texas's Timo Lagu, who's another top. I think he's been as top as like 600 or whatever in the ATP Tour. 22, 23-year-old freshman. It's like he battled. He's 5 years younger than this guy, and he's just one of the few guys that can hit through Lagu, who's best mover on college circuit. Another guy I like to shout out, Wake Forest's number 3 player, a guy just got here in January, Charlie Robertson. He's of Scotland. Kid is just one of the cleanest ball strikers out there. And I made a joke on Twitter. They got the old, Wake Forest has like 23 and 24-year-olds littered throughout the lineup, and I just said, it's funny that the one guy that from Scotland is the only guy that can't hit the local pubs in Winston-Salem,
I saw that. That was good. Yeah. That was funny. What's crazy is like his stature. Like he's not. No. I mean, he's young, but
he's like a $135.
Yeah, and he's just smoking balls. Like it's cooking. Crazy. Yeah.
And it's just his technique is perfect.
Yeah.
I don't recommend many people use the Wilson blade, but that guy, if you're going to use the Wilson blade, you got to be a guy that hits the ball like that.
The Wilson blade right here. That's the V6, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. The old ones were dope. I was a big fan of the old blades, but the new ones is just like a plank. It's just like it doesn't give you. But like if you hit the ball that well and that you lean into the shots and your contact point's that good and you're hitting a flatter ball with makes sense. Charlie Robinson and he's using it like I think he's at 48 pounds of tension. We did a little racket check with him, but he's got the right setup to kind of be mowing through the ball, but still wouldn't be surprised. Like I was telling Jaden Weeks from Kentucky, I'm like, dude, your vertical swing path, just imagine if you had the right racket, look how good you would be. And I was just kind of joking with him, but I'm like, anybody that uses the pure strike, I tell the same thing. JJ Tracy and Bob and Robert Cash, I was telling them the same thing. I'm like, guys, test out some sticks. You're holding the strike actually now.
This dude is just so biased on the pure arrow. It's crazy. Like,
I'm an E-zone guy now, though.
Oh, that's true. He did switch recently, but you still love the pure arrow.
I do love the pure arrow. Yeah. No, for sure. Oh, it's just like I've tried all these rackets, and it's like a lot of those rackets is I'm just not. I guess I'm not a flat. My backhand's super flat. It's almost underspin, but it's like my forehand's like I'm so up and down with it, and it's such. I just think I need more whip and more. Some of those sticks are just the pro staffs, the pure strikes, the blades, the perceps. It's
pure
like
strike's not these things super popular with like rec,
which one?
With like rec players and just
which
people.
One?
The pure strike.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't think so. But yeah, those are my Dallas Open thoughts. I mean, what from the content that was put out there, what did you kind of seem to enjoy from anything we were able to put out there?
I mean, I like the everything about all the Wake guys. I mean, they seem super tight. Like
shout out to DK Suresh
as a team. Yep, shout out. That's what I was gonna say. DK Suresh, that guy's awesome.
6'7".
He was my favorite probably to watch. Like just the stuff I saw of him. I didn't see a ton of it. But
I need to put out more from him. I got some more stuff.
That guy's awesome.
He's a problem.
And then
6'7".
Interview you put out was good. He just. I like that was a big thing that stood out was when he said he was like, oh, they're playing these college guys. It's just like you're on the tour, so like they're very near pro level players. Like so like he's getting really good competition. He admitted, like these guys are pretty much just as good as the tour guys, and so I'm just getting ready to move on. And he's definitely getting prepared. So that's what he made it sound like, which that stuck out to me. So.
I think back when I was playing college tennis, Division I high level was like single A baseball. It's getting to like triple A baseball now.
Right.
Because I mean, NIL, there's resources there. Now people from other countries know about it. It's not a lot of Pairs and Players put up a nice statistic like graph about how many players from America are like at these D1 teams and as opposed to foreigners. And I think it's a lot of foreigners. It's like mostly foreign guys now because they're now finding it's like these young American teenagers, you got to really work hard to get one of these D1 scholarships at one of these top programs now. It's super competitive because the people overseas are now finding that it's like, why would they not go train here? Free coach, free court time, free meals, free lodging, free travel. It's like and then you get paid on top of that. It's like, why would you not take free equipment? It's like, why would you not take advantage of that? And then you're connected to that community for life as well. It's like there's people kind of, they look out for you, see what these guys from TCU and Texas are doing. It's just like a whole different layer of network that you wouldn't even have if you didn't come to college.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on it before we started, like with the travel, like it's just nuts. They're going from these places, like different countries, back and forth to play in tournaments, and it's like, or just these cities in the U.S., but like it's crazy. Like, why not just stick it out in college as long as you can and then make that leap once you actually have to? Like, yeah.
Exactly. I think the same thing goes for coaches is like, do you want to travel with one player that's like on the brink of making it on the tour or not and be going to all these different places and it's like that player could fire you, they could not win matches, and it's like then it's dicey. Or like, do you want to go coach out of college? If a lot of these coaches now have families, like you're in your late 20s or early 30s, you can have your family and everybody settle down in one city, and you're traveling from there, but it's like you at least have like a home base to anchor down. So it's like these not only for the players but even for coaches, it's like college has some of the best coaches in the world at these programs. Like I've gotten to know these. Like I used to not be as kind of in the weeds of all this stuff, and it's like now I've kind of taught these coaches and kind of get to watch them at these practices and warm-ups and stuff, and I get to listen to these coaches. It's like these coaches are like, it's pretty incredible what you have access to as a college Division I tennis player now because a lot of these juniors will ask me, where would you go? And I'm like, there's 16 to 20 programs right now that I think could get you to where you want to go if your dream is to play college or pro tennis. You know, it's like, but they have the resources, they've got the coaching, they've got everything you kind of need. So I think that's why we've invested in college tennis as a business plan of what we want to cover and what we want to kind of spotlight.
Yep. I'm hoping, like I mentioned this earlier, how I didn't get to really see a ton of the indoors, and like that needs to be, like there needs to be more coverage on that. That needs to be more mainstream.
I mean, you got Dirk Nowitzki.
People would love
there.
that, yeah.
Like
yeah.
if Dirk Nowitzki's got time in his life to pull up to this event, like you know, it's like it's entertaining stuff.
Right.
It's like Dirk could be doing whatever the hell he wants to be doing.
They're all getting hyped for each other. Like it's just like it's a good vibe. Like it's a great all around vibe. Everybody, like people would enjoy watching that. I think like if it was on ESPN or whatever.
I would feel much more comfortable bringing people that are not in the tennis space to a college match than I would an ATP Tour match, because it's like there, it's like we can talk like this in the stands. No one's gonna look at us funny. Like it's just a looser, more fun atmosphere. It's not like as uptight, and it's fans being fans is an invited thing, you know? Like being a factor at these matches and showing your partisanship, and like you got benches going crazy on the sidelines. It's like one point still being played, the other point ended. It's like the place blows up and you got to stay locked in and like finish your point out. You know, it's like it's all part of the – people would lose their minds because it's not enough people know about college tennis yet.
No.
But I will say, you know, the Cracked Racquet stream on their YouTube for the ITA final, I was hyped to see like 1,300 or 1,400 people in there at once, and some of the former guys that played college that are now on the tour tuning in back to watch that. I saw Kovacevic was in there and stuff. It's cool to see that like there is a community there, and I think tennis fans would like being a part of that is something special, especially at the collegiate level. But yeah, Dirk was there. John Isner was there. Shout out to tennis coach Connor Casey. Funniest guy that I know on tennis social media. Is like no one's really doing it who's kind of cracked the algorithm like him, how he kind of relates to the whole interclub world, the teaching space. I think meeting up with him, like it was just too funny. He's exactly who I thought he was from going off of his social stuff. But yeah, that's the college scene. We will be back on the college circuit in May, be in Waco for the NCAA tournament. So up until now, from now until then, they got just conference play. So it's just kind of fight it out, conference tournaments. All that's fun. Going to a dual match, you and I will have to go. We'll have to drive to Columbus or drive to Lexington, one of these places that's even go to see the Dayton Flyers. Dayton Flyers, shout out to the Flyers, 8-2, having a nice little season. I was looking at their schedule last night. A few guys that we know too. So we'll make it out. I mean, Xavier's close by.
Enough. Yep.
Yeah, we'll make a little pit stop to a little dual match. Me and Jay Dribbs on the call. we'll get on the court. I mean, my favorite stuff to do at those tournaments is getting on the court before the play even starts, and just like walking around the practice courts and just kind of hang out with those guys. And I think that's where our best content comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it elevates their level too. I think even if they just have somebody there, like paying attention,
they know they're on camera.
Like, okay, cool, we're gonna get some love here.
That's too funny.
On social media, it'll be coming. It'll be coming for them. So,
I got plenty.
And they love that.
Yeah, they do, and it's like they deserve that.
They do, and they deserve it. That's right.
On the pro circuit, a lot of you guys have been watching 3 big storylines for the guys and girls that have taken titles. Andrei Rublev just captured Doha, Qatar, his 17th ATP Tour title. The first time he's won a title twice. He's now won a title, I believe, in each of the last 7 seasons, which is pretty crazy. Just been super steady. I'm glad he's found his mental, because like he lost it at the last couple seasons. Like, just beating himself up, and it was uncomfortable for me
Literally.
to watch. Yeah, like literally, like
Smacking his leg as hard as he could.
it was
Over and over. That looked so painful. And then he just like, it was hurting, and he just like, shouldn't have done that. But
like
I've never seen. I mean,
I've never seen anything like
it's
that.
crazy. He definitely had a bad little stretch there, where he was losing it. But like
was
you
in a
said,
dark-
I mean, that's a surprise number. Like I didn't know he won.
17
He's
titles.
won that many titles.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He was in a dark place. He
he's a
even,
really
like,
good player.
talked about how
Yeah.
he was having like bad thoughts, like really bad. And I just like, I'm glad he finally felt comfortable being open about that stuff and coming forward, just like the struggles that he's had. And I'm like, we need having Andre Rublev, because I think he's like one of the nicest guys that you'll meet off the court.
Yeah.
Always seems like a super friendly guy.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah. Have him back in a winner's circle is big time. Then you got Mira Andreeva, 18, or what is she, 17-year-old? I think she's 17 still. 17-year-old from Russia, captured Dubai, youngest
Seven
WTA 1000 winner.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I believe in the history of women's tennis. She also is going to be in the top 10 tomorrow on Monday when the new rankings drop for the first time. Mira Andreeva's a star. I think a lot of pressure has been on her since she's had success at a young, 15 years older like her so. But I think she's the real deal. I think that's her, and the guy I'm going to mention next get me excited about even the next layer after the they're kind of part of that same Carlos and Sinner, but it's like
But they'll still
tennis,
be around for a while after. Yeah.
tennis is going to be healthy. Like, Andreeva is a star. Not only is her tennis a lot of fun for me to watch, she's like one of the best, most authentic, candid interviews in tennis and in sports, really. I'm always fascinated with what the perspective that she brings. I never feel like she's filtering too much. It just feels like whatever is in her mind is coming out, and I think that's what wins with fans. Once fans feel like there's like a gap between what is in their head and what's coming out of their mouth, it's like you lose that connection. Some of these people are too calculated. That's why I think Novak is so good at it, because it's like he's like what comes out of his mouth.
I
is
think
how
he's
he feels.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we want as fans. You want to know like who those people really are. Shout out to Mira Andreeva. And then lastly, João Fonseca captures his first ATP Tour title in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Takes out like 4 Argentines along the way. I think that, the whole title run was all Argentines. Takes out 4 of them. His first ATP Tour title. He's well inside the top 100 now, establishing himself as one of those young superstars that people have kind of had their eye on now for a while. Kid is the truth, though. Looks comfortable on the red clay down in South America, and it's unfortunately he got tapped out in his home country of Brazil in the Rio Open in the first round. I think he just emotionally exhausted. That place was going bananas, and I think he just was able to. That's a quick bounce back for a title run that following week, and you're in your homeland, and it's like so much expectation is put on your shoulders when you come off a title like that. But he's special. Like, as these kids want to say, his aura is big time. It's like I was watching him in Australian Open. The way he knows how to control the fan, it's like he's like the guy in charge of the orchestra. It's like he knows when to play the crowd, when to kind of let them like. He knows how to use them to his advantage more than most veterans on the tour. That's just a rare characteristic to have at such a young age, and you can just tell people feel differently watching him than they do a lot of these other guys. He just got a charisma about him. We need to get him kitted out a lot better. Dude, what they're doing to Iga Swiatek and João Fonseca is just. And even you got Kaboli, Shelton.
Yeah.
These guys are looking like they're like splattered paint on their freaking shirts every week. It's like, what the heck are we doing?
It's funny.
It doesn't look good, though. It's like you got all these super marketable athletes with Fonseca, Kaboli, Shelton, Iga. They just signed the youngest Swedish star, Henry. Drawn blank on his name, but just
I don't know. I was
he
going to
won
say.
the Australian Open Juniors. Anyway, it's just like get these guys like customize them a little bit, like for their. I don't know. It's like if you're gonna dip your toe in the tennis world, it's like and you got all these big time athletes.
Yeah. I feel like they could customize them a little more for each one and let them kind of do the planning on that, like the actual player. Like, hey, this is what I kind of want. I mean, they probably do a little bit of that, but like they're coming out with these sets for the women and for the men, and it's like, I don't know I don't know. It's colorful.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to try the on shoe. I still I've worn them like not to play hard in, but I've heard they don't last long, but they do look cool. The shoes look cool. Anyway, that's kind of it for the pro recap. This week we've got Rio finishing up. Sebastian Baez looks like the guy just all these Argentines look so good on the red clay.
Yeah, there's so many players right now. Like it feels
nuts.
like there's like 10, 12 guys that are like
the tour is so deep.
they're like on the verge of breaking out. Like or they already kind of are. But like, I mean, it's, as a casual, like, need to be more formal. Need to get to know more of these guys. But like you hear all these different names, and you're like, man, like now this guy's getting hyped up. Like now this guy's about to go off, and yeah, there's a bunch.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah,
and they're all young, and they're either from Argentina, Italy, France, like. It's just the tour is loaded. Like the top 100 is
it's in a good spot.
It is.
Tennis is in a good spot. Yeah.
Acapulco's this week, Dubai's this week, as well for the men. So also today, 18-year-old. No, this is the hipster part of the pod where it's like if you guys want a guy to be watching for, it's Nikolay Budkov. I'm saying his name wrong. Kjaer, Kjaer. He's from Norway. Young Norwegian guy that I've watched play Orange Bowl before, and this kid is. I don't like to throw that around too often. I'm not gonna say he's special, but there's something about like it just when you see it, you're like, that's a tour player. You know, he's got that. Whatever that is what he has. It's like the ball he hits, the way he carries himself. He looked good for the Norway's Davis Cup match that I saw him play. It's like this kid is the truth. I mean, he's just got so much game to him. He was like the hitting partner at the ATP Tour Finals this past year. I feel like those guys that they pick always end up kind of.
That's a good prediction.
Yeah.
We'll revisit that.
This is the guy.
We will revisit that.
His first ATP Challenger title, Glasgow. This guy he won 2024 Junior Wimbledon. The kid is just moves well. He's just a strong player. Looks comfortable over the ball off both wings. Just the way these guys, there's just a confidence about him. I don't know. Keep an eye on him. Give him a follow on social media. I think this guy's going to blow up here soon.
Yep.
We had another breaking news this week. A guy we got to talk about, Reilly Opelka.
Oh.
Not for anything he did on the court. Most of his stuff that he's been, I mean, he did beat Novak Djokovic earlier this year, but he's been making bigger headlines off the court. Ripping on doubles. He put it out there this week on Instagram that he wants to completely get rid of doubles. He says that there's no such thing as a doubles specialist. They don't sell tickets. They take up courts. They take up the physios. They take up all the resources that these ATP Tour guys, singles guys bring in. He calls him greedy for asking for more money, and he sounds off on this. And I'm just like, I don't really like. I understand I don't really get why he's triggered about that though. I don't know what I missed in the conversations of guys asking for more money that are double specialists. I don't feel like they're paid that much as it is. I think it was because of this mixed doubles thing that came up at the U.S. Open, how they're moving it to the week before during Fan Week to try to get more singles guys, bigger names in these things. It's like the U.S. Open trying to save mixed doubles. It's like I just put resources somewhere else. It's just not. It's not. You're not going to change it. Like no one cares about mixed. No one's ever going to talk about mixed doubles.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to talk about. We got friends that play doubles. I will tune into that. Like we're one of the 1%ers will watch that stuff, but it's like the casual fan is never going to be invested in doubles
for sure,
unless you got like the Federers or the Novaks, and even then it's like it's a bona fide exhibition.
Yeah. But as long as they're doing it at tournaments and events, like they're going to keep playing. So like I guess they got to look out for themselves. So
100%.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to speak on probably. So I don't know. Opelka might be regretting it a little bit based on his Instagram bio now.
Watch
more doubles.
He had Rohan Bopina fired up, double specialist, made a career out of it. Bopina said that he's been able to impact a ton of lives to get into the game and kind of the influence he's had because of his success in doubles. And it's like interesting perspective. It's the counter argument, and I thought that was, if you guys want to know, it's on his Twitter. Just go check that out.
It's probably really hard to gauge it. Like, I mean, Reilly Opelka knows a lot more probably about the numbers than we do, but like, it's just, I don't know if it's necessary to comment on that. Just kind of let them see if they can get more money, and I don't know how it will work out, but I don't know if they gotta, if they're traveling too, they gotta probably look out for themselves. 100%. So, it's interesting.
I wanted to go find Opelka's account to see for myself. I was startled when I saw the NYCC account was blocked off by Reilly Opelka from a simple video we posted at the Charlottesville Challenger where it was just like he was mimicking.
Reilly, let us back in.
Come on, right? Like we're not. I watched the video.
We
that
love
we posted.
you.
It's like
Serve bot.
Big serve. I mean, we posted so many good pieces from our.
Wait, does he not like serve bot? Is that cool to call him that?
No, he's serve bot.
He loves that. All right, cool.
But it's like all we did was post the video of him mimicking Colton Smith, the match he lost in Charlottesville. You know, it's
Who we love. We
Yeah.
love Colton Smith also.
That's what I'm. But it's like that was just a nice. It was good stuff. It was like that's what fans want to
Yeah.
see.
No, that was funny.
It
Yeah.
was, I didn't even. Nothing was said that was out of
Yeah.
line, really.
And I'm sure there's still some lingering health or injury stuff that he's dealing with to get through. So, like,
Yeah.
he's just
He's just
probably
fired
wants to
up.
be all the way back, and
Yeah.
maybe he's not quite there yet. But I think he will be. Like, I love watching that guy. He's big condor out there. Just massive arms and legs. Like, crushes the ball, too.
He does.
And he moves really well for how big he is. It's crazy.
Underrated athlete for. How
We
big
love
he is.
Reilly. Reilly let us back in. Unblocked NYCC.
I'm just confused. I'm like, what was?
We think that's what happened. That's
Yeah.
what it looks like.
I can't. No, I mean, we've never spoken
Yeah.
poorly about Opelka. I mean, yeah, it's like I was just like, come on, I think that's all fair game. You're acting up on the court. It's like you think
was
people
funny.
Are,
Yeah,
people
it was
are
fun.
watching it.
I don't like the grunting either, but
Yeah. No, he was
so
mad.
it was funny.
He's mad at Colton for yelling, "Come on!" After big points. So he's like,
Yeah.
"More!"
Yeah. He's mocking him. Yeah.
I'm like, Riley's. Dude, me and Mike Cation were sitting up there. The challenger. He's the voice of the challenger tour. We were just cracking up. He goes, "Oh boy, oh no, oh no!" And now he's just like, "Oh," shit. And I'm like, "This is good. This is like,
Yeah.
this is good stuff. This is what makes. This is how tennis is supposed
It's funny.
It's a little
Did Colton Smith say anything about that?
Nah, Colton just handled business.
He just handled business.
Colton just handled business.
He doesn't seem like the guy that would. He doesn't seem
Nah,
like the type
Colton's-
that would be
nah,
like
you're not gonna
make
get-
a thing out of it.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna rattle Colton Smith.
Nah, right.
That kid, no. And anybody that's a fisherman and a hunter and a gatherer like Colton Smith
and
out
he's
there.
got like a bear and a deer tattoo on his
Dude.
arm. It's nuts. It's really nice. Shout out to his artist, tattoo artist. Looks real
I didn't
good.
even notice that. But
Oh,
I
it looks
know he's-
good.
Yeah. I went and watched him in Cleveland and just I forget who I told this, but it's like watching his pregame or pre-match routine is like watching a UFC fighter like getting taped up and ready for war. It's just like his mentality is just like you can see just the way he bops around and like some guys are kind of looking around, stretching, like it looks kind of like looser, just kind of relaxed. He's like totally locked in, ready to go to war. And I was just like, when I was like, I'm like, there's no, like, he's winning this tournament. He went out, took Cleveland, like rolled through everybody.
Yeah.
Like took out
awesome.
JJ, took out Stefan Dosnich, guy we just talked about from Wake, took out Caruso, took out Spaziri in the final. I mean, he just bopped through everybody. I mean, his progression as a player. He's playing at Arizona in his final season with the Wildcats. That team should be one to. They'll make the NCAA tournament. I hope that they got him and Jay Friend playing at the 1-2 spot. Both guys are super solid, above solid. I mean, they're going to be on the tour.
Yeah.
But Colton is a guy that I think he's going to be. I'm going to say he's like no reason with what I just saw from him at this challenger he can't go top 100. Super fun guy to tune into. Pounds the ball both wings.
Definitely,
I
I
mean,
want to follow him.
yeah. I mean, he was cracked. This serve has gotten so much bigger. That's just the guy you guys got to watch out for. College tennis, I'm telling you guys, try to find a way to. It's not the easiest to find, but it's probably going to be on the Cracked Rackets YouTube page if you're looking to stream it. The streams are getting better though. You know, it's not the play. They've upgraded. I think PlaySite is now kind of phasing out. Also, the biggest thing of the challenge of the Dallas Open, or what am I saying? The indoors was the challenge system.
Oh yeah,
The challenge at the national indoors was
Yeah.
the challenge system. Having college tennis adopt the challenge system is money. You get 3 missed challenges per set. So like if you hook me, I get 3 times the challenger call. But
Yeah.
if you get them right, you retain them.
Yeah.
Just
You have to have it.
yeah,
Yeah, you have to
unreal.
have it.
It made it so much better. I don't know what people like. People always say college tennis is a bunch, but it's like that cleaned it up all of the mishaps that I saw when I was at indoors.
Yeah.
Indoors was, I didn't see any silly business there, which was cool.
That brings 2 more plugs to my mind that I got to make.
Let's get it.
We got Parsa Bombs. Shout out to him, the real one,
Parsa Namadi.
lover of tennis. Yeah. You know more about him than I do.
No, he's the man.
And then we have Parsa Bums, who I love. They're great. They just call people out. Dirty players, to be honest. Like, it's crazy. But when you put that thing out about the challenge system, he commented and was like, "Oh, there goes all my content."
It's so
So
funny.
I was laughing at that. But yeah, those guys are funny. I don't know who's running that account, but
No one
it sounds
does.
like nobody knows.
I got to give people credit.
but
that
they're funny, and some of them you just got guys coming to the defense of the hookers, I guess.
Yep.
They're
It's mostly the
they're in there and
defense
they're
and stuff.
like, oh yeah, that was in, and I'm like,
Check out the shadow of the
You're
ball.
blind.
The shadow was out.
and then it's just like an argument in the comments. I love
is.
it, but
so-
it's funny.
No, that's
The captions are funny, and
tennis
Yeah.
needed something, an outlet like that. That some of their stuff was walking like it walks the line where I'm like, that's a little invasive, man. Like, did you have to pull up this dude's Snapchat from like 2006, like or 2000? Really, these kids it's like 2014.
Oh right, I forgot about that stuff. Yeah,
these kids were born in like 2006. That they're talking. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's like they're pulling up old video. I'm like, some of this.
Yeah,
is
they're walking. They might be towing the line a little bit. So maybe
I can't support all of it, but the hooking stuff is funny. It's like I hope it gets guys to stop blatantly cheating because it's like you don't want to be on there getting exposed like that. And that's I was actually talking to the Wake Forest.
No, you don't do it, and don't do it.
Yeah, I was talking to Wake Forest's coaches about this. It's like when you're known as a cheater in college, like that reputation follows you for a long time. And there was just guys that I had brought up that I'd covered over the last 4 or 5 years, and it's when you're known as like when you hear these coaches say like that guy's a huge hook, like it's just not. I wouldn't want to be that guy. You don't want to be known as the big hook. And some of these guys from some of these big programs, it's like that's tough, man. Like these coaches are never gonna. You're never gonna be kind of like forgotten as that guy that was a hook.
Especially if you make parts of bums page. Bums. Bombs.
Man, this is I mean Sunday morning I wanted to just get on here and kind of do a little recap of kind of the weeks that we've kind of
it was good. You need to get the pod rolling again.
The pod's got to be back and rolling.
Got to get rolling regularly.
We're going to record another episode before we bounce for Indian Wells. I want to do a little preview of what's to come in 2025, kind of the spots that we plan to hit. We've got a rough idea right now of tournaments and locations we want to be at this year, but I want to kind of come out with that a kind of official release next pod, and then we want to do a little preview of Indian Wells. We'll recap some of these bigger tournaments, Acapulco, Rio, Dubai this week, and we got to get Jay Drivs in the booth. Big debut for the kid.
Yeah.
I
was a little nervous.
Well, yeah, we got a lot of reps to come to get the doors. To bust down some barn doors.
And just make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube page, Not Your Country Club. You need those subscriptions.
We did hit 2K the other day.
Yeah, keep them coming.
We need them.
And then Nate, he's going to be committed to getting some more long form content on YouTube. So yeah, definitely get on there and
that's on the
hit all the pages.
Appreciate that. Big shout out. That's something I got to be better at. But guys, Jay Drivs, give him a follow. Also, we posted some of his little cone work.
Oh yeah, that was on the NYCC page a couple weeks ago.
People seem to enjoy it.
We're gonna work on that.
We got
a couple bad ones.
The progression's coming though.
And I'm blaming the feeder, Barty. He was feeding like just real little weak balls.
Little pickleball dinks.
Yeah, little dinks. But it's all right. I had a few good ones in there.
Slaps in there.
Yeah, I need to get back on court.
What are you hitting with these days?
I still got that Wilson Ultra, which I mean a few years ago when I was like just kind of picked it because of the color, but I learned a lot more. There's definitely rackets that would fit me better, I think. So
we might have to get on.
Be doing that research too. I'm gonna get something else.
We need to snow them out. We need some outdoor tennis here soon. But appreciate you stepping in today. And this is the new look at the studio. I think we can call this home.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll get a couch or something.
Yeah, a little comfier.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll have these mics. Gotta get that.
No, we'll get tuned into these mics. We'll get properly rigged up, and that's it.
Hopefully, you'll see more from us soon here.
That's a wrap. Appreciate you.